It's the countdown. 1962. Johnson, Seahorse, Short Check, Tiller. Coming out real sweet. Looks good. Hopefully she's going to run good. Got to put the gear case on today. I built this motor stand last night because I had nothing here. Everything is in my storage unit. And I need something a little bit more portable over here to work on. Like I said, gear case going on. A few odds and ends I want to take care of. I need to drill this one handle out and put a new one in, or a used one. I've got some parts. I'm going to build one, put that in there. Everything, I've double checked everything. Everything looks good to go. Another issue I have here is the motor mounts in the back are broken, which is causing the bottom cover here to be loose, and it's going to vibrate like hell while it's running. I want to get that squared away. The rubber is still good, just the screws broke off at the rubber on the top underneath. What I'm going to do is drill a hole in here and put an extra bolt and tack this baby down against the existing rubber mounts, and put a rubber washer in there, and it should be good to go. And one other issue I need to address is the stop screw here, which is absolutely amazing that the thing still even exists. Well, it's frozen up in there, and I need to try to loosen it up and save it because it needs to work, or else it's just going to be a pain in the ass running this motor without. All right, so here's the gear case, and what I did was I filled this thing completely
Okay,
full
so
of
here's
oil.
what happened. I opened the gear case up. It was bone dry. I filled it up with oil and threw a little bit of stop leak in there. I've never tried that before, but the stuff I had worked great on my van. I had a leak on the power steering, and I'm like, hey man, let me throw some of this stuff in there and see if it'll buy me a little bit of time. I know the seals had to have been dried out, so I'll give it a shot and see what happens.
Okay, I got my water pump ready to go. Greased up the old pump and the impeller, and put my pin in here, holding it in there with a little bit of grease, and let's put this baby on. Make sure your pin goes right in that groove. Bing, bang, boom, baby. Hey. Okay, I got my rubber O-ring on my drive shaft, and grease this puppy
So
up.
after leaving the stop leak in there overnight, the next day I went out, pushed the drive shaft down, and the pressure was so tight that I had to pull the screw out to get the drive shaft in. The stuff really worked.
Okay, so next on the list, I'm going to drill this puppy out, and hopefully I can get it out without having to drill it and tap it. I've got a set of pullers to try to get this thing out. I've only had a couple of them come out. 99.9% of the time, man, they just don't want to come out. Okay, got my pilot hole in. I'm looking pretty good here in the front, but in the back it's a little bit low, but I'll try and straighten her out. All right, I think I evened her out pretty good, looking pretty straight there. And I'm going to put the extractor tool in there and see if I can do anything with it. Okay, the extractor tool is in there. I put a little PB blaster in there, on there. And I guess I'm gonna have to heat it up a little bit, see what happens. Okay, I got a real low flame on it. Just want to heat this puppy up a little bit, see if we can get her to turn out. It'll be a miracle. Well, just the extractor tool is turning. And that's what I thought. Well, I just twisted out the bigger one, so I think the problem is the aluminum. This is aluminum. It's just too soft for this tool to really get a good grip on. And I'm just going to have to drill it out and tap it. Sometimes I get real lucky on them and I can get that last bit out. Sometimes I just have to end up tapping it out. Okay, I'm drilling it out. It's looking good. I should be able to pick out the old clamp, screw, whatever you want to call it, if I can stay on track with the drill. Okay, I'm about halfway through. I'm pretty good on track. I'm a little off. You know, I keep going back and forth. I think I'm going to put a smaller bit in there and kind of round it out, hone it out, whatever. I don't know what you call it. Just get a little bit more of a guide going if I can. And go from there. Okay, I put a smaller bit in there. And I don't know if you can see, but gives me a little bit more idea of where I'm at. Anyway, it's coming along. Alright, you can see I'm pulling the old screw out a little at a time. Hopefully I've saved my threads. So I think I did pretty good. Alright, it's looking good. I'm using the tap now. And the first half of the threads, the original threads, are still intact. I'm going in and just tearing out a little bit at a time of the old screw, just a little bit at a time, because I don't want to strip anything. There you see all the crap taken out, just a little at a time. I'm almost to the end. Okay, I'm down to the end and the tap is just twisting out the old piece that was left. There it is right there. Oh, this fell off. It's beautiful. It's freaking beautiful. Damn. Super lucky. Got super lucky on this one. Or maybe it's because I've done it so many freaking times. I just keep getting better. Alright, here's the one I'm going to be using. It's a perfect match, basically. The only problem is, for some reason, I had cut this thing off at one point or the other, and can't remember why. So I'm going to clean it up a little bit here with the grinder, drill out the old pin, put a new pin on it, and I've got the back piece and fitting to go on. Okay, there it is. Cleaned it up with the grinder a little bit. Took a galvanized nail, put it in there, cut it off, and smashed it with the hammer while it was still hot. And it's like works like a champ. I mean, what else can you say? Then for the clip that goes on in the back, they can be a real pain in the ass. So once they're bent to take the damn thing off, you have to get them back in there and bend them back. So what I do is I take a little socket, fit it up in there, tighten it down, and it rolls it right back out. I don't know if you can see in there, but it's perfecto. Perfecto. Alright, so last but not least, I want to fix this problem here. Alright, so here's what I came up with. Got the stainless steel screw, washer, rubber washer, bottom washer, and nut. Let's see how it goes on. Alright, that's it. There's my screw, washer, rubber washer. And then I changed it up at the last minute. Put a lock nut on there with the washer. And man, this thing is perfect. Ready to go. Well, it was a miracle. But I got it out, or loosened it up, whatever, with just a long lighter, barbecue type lighter, and it's a little bit warped on the end, a little melted, and I lost just the tip of it.
Okay,
But
I'm going to put the lighter back
I
on
saved
there and reheat it and straighten that damn thing out.
And it's going to work. Alright, the 1962 Johnson Seahorse, short shaft, tiller, 18 horsepower. Absolutely beautiful. To me, this motor is a work of art. To some people, it's just an old boat motor. They could care less. But not to me. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. And, I mean, what can I say? People, famous people in history, like Washington, while crossing the Delaware, was heard to say, "Shit, if I only had a Johnson." Lewis and Clark, on their expedition, argued over and over, "We need a Johnson." And other famous people in history all heard to say, "We need a Johnson." If they only had a Johnson 18 horse, just think, history could have been changed. Anyway, I love this motor. You're going to love it too. Thanks for watching.
And that was the comedy portion of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Countdown to 1962 Johnson, the What It Takes series. Thanks so much for watching my video. I've got tons more stuff coming up. Check out my other videos too. It's This Old Outboard. You know the channel.